Hello, welcome back to the Gemma Movie Recap. Today we want to recap Extreme Job, a Korean action and comedy movie from 2019. But before we start, please support our channel by subscribing and click the bell icon for future notifications. Now, let's start. The movie depicts the drug crime division of the South Korean police team, which consists of Chief Go Detective John, Detective Ma, Detective Yamgo, and Detective Jae-hoon. One day, the team set out on a mission to apprehend petty criminals who were engaged in gambling on the top floor of a stall, but their original plan needed to be modified. Jang was supposed to ambush the thieves via the window using the rope connected to the stall roof that was merely hanging, but she had difficulty getting to the window, which caused one of the thieves to be surprised in another window that also had the same issue. After Go Han-jong struggled to enter the room, the criminals quickly jumped out of the window and fled. The criminal had claimed that they should be able to carry out an ambush like the ones in movies, but Hill argued that the criminals' ambush funds should be safe so they could not use sophisticated equipment like in a movie. While Ma nonchalantly rode an electric motorcycle and managed to pull down the criminal at a crossroads, John Go and two other investigators outside the stall pursued them on the streets. Unfortunately, the criminal retreated just as Ma was ready to handcuff him. Although his subordinates were summoned to the police chief's office because he was upset that the Ghost team had never been able to catch the criminals, some cars had to break down suddenly and caused a series of accidents as a result. As a result, the police had to make up for the damage to 16 cars in the accident. The police chief further said that despite several of his junior officers achieving high ranks, Bill was unable to advance owing to his poor performance, and that his guys could only remain silent when their superior was furious. Going out of the chief's room, Go and the others appeared slow and began criticizing one another for their mistakes. They soon met with a team commanded by Chief Choi, a junior from Go. Then, in order for Mako to get promoted right away, Choi invited Go and the others to a restaurant to celebrate his promotion. Choi, who still valued Go as his senior, tried to provide information about the drug dealer, then offered to go to look into and arrest one of the snapper-class drug dealers, Lee Mubei. Bill wanted to take advantage of the wonderful opportunity to demonstrate his strong performance, so he accepted the offer. The members of his team began a stakeout in the vicinity of Bay's base. They kept watch over the area day and night while posing as construction workers, electricians, and karate instructors. Go assisted with the stakeout from the car. Ma was in charge of scouting from a building's roof. One of the residents felt uneasy because she thought Ma was watching her. She then reported Ma to the police. Ma and his colleagues then attempted to explain what had happened. They were released as a result of the fact that they provided the arresting officer with their police identification. Goa and his team observed Mubei from a fried chicken stand that was deserted by patrons because to its unpleasant flavor and proximity to Mubei's base. In fact, after a week of their stakeout, they saw no customers arrive at the location other than themselves. Frustrated that they had not yet received instructions to complete the mission, they appeared to be in the process of giving up. Suddenly, Young-ho noticed Mubei's arrival using a luxury car, and the five of them immediately conducted the stakeout once more. The stall's owner noticed their peculiar behavior and reprimanded them, who acted like children at play. Once they came to their senses and looked back at the building across from Moon Bay's car, it had left again, and they had lost track of the drug dealer. Go then started to develop a stakeout strategy by engaging in illegal wiretapping without receiving official authorization from the police leader. Hearing this, Go and his colleagues went back to their seats and needed to remember the recon they were doing. Zhang opposed the idea because she did not want to take risks in the event of losses. Because of the wiretapping reporting, it could make her pension money run out to pay fines due to demands from other parties. Even so, the other detectives seemed to agree with Go's idea, so they started looking for a way to get inside the building. Suddenly, they saw a food delivery man entering the building. They came up with the idea of posing that person on a mission to conduct an investigation. They then asked the stall owner about the delivery service provided by the stall. The stall owner said the delivery service was usually just to deliver orders from across the building. After learning that the store used to send to the building Mubei occupied, Young-ho immediately offered to become a delivery employee. Unfortunately, the stall owner explained that he would close his business tomorrow and sell the stall because his fried chicken stall was no longer profitable. The next day, Joan arrived and pretended to be a businessman interested in purchasing the chicken stall as a franchise. He intended to create multiple branches of fried chicken stalls in other places and finally agreed to sell the store as a franchise. As it turned out, Jung exploited the fried chicken branch shop to facilitate his group's numerous narcotics transactions. Several branches of fried chicken stalls started to open. Prior to consumers complaining on social media about the subpar service provided by the fried chicken stall branch, Jung's scheme appeared to be working as intended. However, as soon as branch's men started their investigation, when the detectives started looking into various branches of fried chicken stalls, they discovered irregularities in the message service between branch stores, which was always abundant. At this time, every stall branch experienced a decrease in sales after numerous customer complaints on social media. To allay their suspicions, the detectives turned to the evidence that the fried chicken stall branch Mubei had met Ted Chong, his rival, at a restaurant and offered him a drug deal. Jung and Jihyun pretended to be food delivery people. Ma went to the branch store to conduct routine checks on behalf of the central fried chicken stall, but when his identity was discovered, Mubei's men beat him up. Furious that the cop had started to smell his business, Mubei then planned to use a message between fried chickens to trap and blackmail Ted into selling drugs. When Ma, who had been held captive by Mubei's men, made a video call to Go and his 3 colleagues, they immediately went to the location where Ma was being held. Unfortunately, some of Mube's men dug a grave for Ma, but Mac Aaron tied the rope in his hand and beat up all of Mubei's men. The former national judo competitor with a reputation for having exceptional martial arts abilities. It appears like Mubei and Ted are distributing drugs. When the 2 drug traffickers heard the police siren, they panicked and started blaming each other. Mubei took advantage of this to quickly steal Ted's money without giving him the illegal drugs while the fight was going on. Masadena immediately calls his colleagues to get to the scene and arrest the drug dealers since they would soon complete the transaction. After spotting many more men than they did, Mubei didn't appear to be afraid of the investigators entering the room. He was confident that the Ghost Squad would defeat them because each member has extraordinary abilities. Ji-Huns was a baseball player known for his intense physicality. Mao was a former judo athlete. Young-ho was a former member of the Navy. Zhong won the Asian Muay Thai tournament, and Go is known as a zombie since he has been repeatedly stabbed by his opponent up until this point. All the detectives then engaged in combat with the drug dealers while he was still alive. Mubei fled covertly toward the ship docked there. Go, who saw this, immediately pursued him after Mubei started the ship's engine and departed the port. Mubei thought he was safe at this point, but he was shocked to discover Go, who had secretly boarded the ship. Both of them engaged in combat, and Go eventually defeated Mubei using his martial arts skills. Later, when backup police arrived at the docks, they were surprised to see all the members of the drug dealer had been tied up in a battered state after a fight with the 5 detectives. The last scene depicts an award ceremony foregoing his 4 associates for their success in arresting 2 drug traffickers of the Snapper class at once. The top police chief removed the sentence they had previously received, while the 5 detectives got promoted. It's all about the movie. Thank you for watching and see you in next video.